Hey everybody, happy holidays. I know it's been anxiously awaited to see some future progress on the Hostetler Super Chipmunk, and I have been busy on it. Um, so you can see I got the vertical fin and rudder all finished and sheeted, and it turned out extremely well. Kind of a trick for sheeting. For years, I used to just use regular CA and sheet everything like that, except the problem is you don't get a lot of time as far as getting pieces in place and getting your joints really nice. um, well, you can do it, and usually I do, but this time I decided just to use a wood glue, just a regular carpenter wood glue. um, as you can see, there's probably one, two, three or four pieces that make this here, and one, two, three, and a sliver here, and everything is just perfectly smooth because the wood glue sands very well. Um, Pardon my voice, I've been very sick the past couple days. Um, but since we're on the topic of sheeting, I've recently just built the stab and the elevators, and now it's to the point where it's ready for sheeting. One thing to keep in mind when sheeting. Now, this is not a constant airfoil tail, so as it sits here, it can rock, it can bend. So sheeting a surface is how you can fix a warped surface or create one. The choice is yours. And what I mean by that is, let's say I'm getting ready to sheet this and I just start putting sheeting on and I'm pushing things down. I'm getting the sheeting in place with the little pins and so forth. And I'm actually twisting this elevator and getting it all cattywampus as I'm putting the sheeting on. I'm building a warp into the surface. You don't want to do that. So a way to fix that is have it on the bench, have it secure in place, and like on the ends, use just a scrap piece of balsa or whatever you have. So you're kind of making a temporary jig so things can't move around on you. That is the best way that I've found to prevent from building a warp into a surface. So what I'm going to do for the stab is I'm going to separate the elevators from the stab. They're just tack glued on here to be able to build the elevators, get the trailing edges and everything lined up nice and straight. So I'm going to cut these off. They're just tack glued on there. So I'll cut those off, and I'm going to sheet one side of the stab while it's jigged in place, and I'll sheet one side of the elevators, and I can do all that simultaneously. And once it's sheeted, then I can flip the parts over. Then I can go in with my reinforcing blocks for my control horns and for my hinges. I like to do that once one side is sheeted because it allows me to get a lot more, at least I think it allows me to better glue them in. So that's just the way I do it. There's really no right or wrong way to do it. It's whatever's easiest and whatever's effective. As you can see, looking at the plan, not a whole lot fits very straight. I am rather surprised. It's not that big a deal. I mean, it's not really changing the shape of the airplane all that much, but it's just really, it's really kind of strange how a lot of pieces really didn't fit. And like for instance, this piece here wasn't even included. I had to make my own, and this piece here was actually out to here. So I had to cut it and resand it. So, like I said, not, excuse me, not a real big deal, just kind of surprising. But, oh well. And on top of doing all that, I was able to get the rest of the stringers, at least as many as I can, onto the fuselage. So now it's really starting to look like a fuselage to an airplane. I haven't put the stringers on the bottom of the fuselage yet, or the formers, because I can't do that until I get the tail put on, and I'm going to have to make some kind of access point to be able to get to the underside of the stab, because I'm going to have my servos in the tail, so when the wires go into the fuselage and I have an extension coming back, I need to have an area where I can get in there and make connections. So I'm not going to stringer the bottom until until the tail is put on. And plus, I'm only going to, and plus it's going to be easier to stringer it and get everything sheeted once the center section is put on as well. So, I mean, right now I can sheet the front end. I can sheet probably back to about here. But I'm in no hurry. I do not like sheeting. I say I don't like a lot of things. I really don't like building, but, you know, it's the only way I'm going to get this airplane, and I really want this airplane. So, we do what we got to do, right? You know, and all this here, all the stringers right here are not per the plan. I don't really know what was intended. I'm following a very detailed build thread on RC Scale Builders, and my hat's off to Bob Knight down in Florida. He built an absolutely beautiful Hostetler Chipmunk and did a step-by-step build thread and has been a lifesaver. So, Bob, thank you. I really appreciate it. Even though there's nothing here I couldn't figure out, it's just nice to see how somebody else did it. And I'm not doing things exactly the same way he did, but at least he's making a lot of sense of things that I was kind of looking at it going, you know, what the hell am I supposed to do here? So that's where we're at there. Oh, man. Trying to hold in throwing up again. On to some better news. Tomorrow is Christmas Day, and we got some family stuff going on in the morning. Goodness. But I'm planning on doing the maiden flight on the Arrowmaster tomorrow afternoon. It's all ready to go. I'm glad I did a really thorough pre-flight on it yesterday because it turned out one of my fuel lines had a kink on it, and I had to remove the entire fuel system out of the airplane to fix that issue. That would not have been fun to find out at the flying field. So, do a lot of thorough checks. But it's ready to go. Everything is solid as far as I can tell, but obviously the first flights will bring out any little gremlins. So yeah, that's where we're at. Man, oh man. So, anybody that has any questions about any particular step that I'm doing, or any future steps that you'd like kind of more of a how-to or kind of see how I do things, just let me know in the comment section. Because I'm more than happy to share the secrets that I do. Because I honestly don't have my own building techniques. I have some that are my own, and most of them I've robbed from other people. So that's how we all kind of do it. We share ideas off of each other. So if there's anything in particular you want more detail in, just let me know. Well, I think I'm going to head upstairs to the bathroom, take care of some business. Hope everybody has a good holiday. And hopefully if I'm feeling a little bit better, we'll see you at the field tomorrow. Later.